Make sure everyone in your lab group has a yellow lab sheet, and you'll be working through this with your lab group. So in the classroom, you're going to start the top half of this yellow sheet. When you finish lab, you should be able to answer these questions. What happens to air pressure as water vapor or humidity is added? Second, why does water vapor in the air affect air pressure? So if you look at the graph that you just finished talking about, look at the relationship between dew point and air pressure. Remember, high dew point means there's a lot of water vapor in the air. So when water vapor humidity is added, what happens to the air pressure? Did we get higher pressure, which is heavier air, or lower pressure, lighter air? So while I'm calling this a prediction, the graph actually showed you this relationship. And then so explain why you chose your answer. Pause the video as you're writing. And then for this lab, you're going to create a model of the air around you. When you get to lab, you'll see that there are green paper cards that represent the air molecules. So to review, what do we know about the air around us? The air around you is made of blank % nitrogen and blank % oxygen. See if you remember these percentages. Okay. Our air is about 80% nitrogen, between 78 and 80, and about 20 to 21% oxygen. Okay? Now in lab, we're going to represent this. Again, you're going to see green cards, and you're going to see cards marked N2. That represents nitrogen. You're going to pick up 8 cards of nitrogen to represent the 80% of our air that is nitrogen. Picking up 80 cards would be a lot. And then to represent the oxygen in our air, the oxygen you breathe, O2, you're going to pick up 2 cards. So the cards are in bowls in the middle of lab. You're going to pick up 1 set per lab group, so you'll have 10 cards. And then please, when you're finished, return them to the appropriate bowl. So when everyone in your group has this part of the yellow sheet complete, pause the video, and you're going to go to lab, but I'm going to ask that you continue listening to this video while you're in lab. So you can bring one iPad and listen to it, or you can all bring your iPads with headphones. All right, now that you're in lab, what you're going to do is from the center table pick up 8 nitrogen cards, N2, and pick up 2 oxygen cards, O2. And what we're going to do is we are literally going to weigh these molecules. Remember, air pressure is how heavy air is. So we're going to weigh your model air molecules. So down here in the data table, weigh your dry air. You have no water in your air right now. So you have 10 molecules, completely dry air. So put them on a scale. Make sure your scale reads 0 before you put the cards on. And read the weight to the nearest decimal point. Again, you can pause the video anytime to complete the step and then hit play again. Next, we want to know how much would air weigh if there's just a little water in it. So this time, notice I still want 10 molecules total. So this time weigh 6 nitrogen, 2 oxygen, and 2 water. So you're going to return 2 nitrogen and pick up 2 water. Okay, take turns going to the middle table and getting your cards. Make sure your scale reads 0. Now weigh these 10 cards. Sorry about that. These 10 cards. Hit pause again. Next, 4 water molecules. So this time let's do 5 nitrogen, 1 oxygen, and 4 water. So we still have 10 molecules, but more of them are water. Again, make sure your scale reads 0. What is the weight this time? And then for the final measurement, you're going to do 6 water molecules. 3 nitrogen, 1 oxygen, 6 water molecules. So you still have 10 total, but now 6 are water. And again, weigh them. When you're finished, return all the cards to the center table and complete this statement. As water vapor humidity was added, the air got, did you notice it got lighter or heavier? Okay? Now I'd like you to go back to the classroom and continue the video when you get there. Alright, so now we're going to make sense of your lab and your graph. Air with a lot of water vapor which means high humidity or high dew point. Would have, what would the air pressure be like? Would it be higher or lower? And now, why? Explain why the air got lighter as we added more water vapor. Try to write in complete sentences. Use the numbers from your lab you just did, and then was your prediction correct? When you're finished with that, you do have an exit question for lab, and then please return this yellow sheet, turn in this yellow sheet to the bucket under the TV.